اوكي. طيب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
What's your name, sister?
Sumayyah and I am American originally, and I came to Islam about 18 years ago now. Alhamdulillah.
Inshallah. Where are you from, America? What state?
Minnesota.
Minnesota, mashallah. Now, how was your life before Islam? Were you living in the United States at that time?
Yeah, I was just your average American teenager, and going about my business, but just really feeling, you know, that there was something missing in life. And I had gone into, I started working at a nursing home because a lot of people in my family were in medicine, and you know, nurses and doctors and such. And so I really kind of felt like that's the way I wanted to go also. So when I was in high school, I started working at a nursing home, and that was really my first encounter with mortality, with life and death, and really starting to think about the meaning of life and bigger questions. And because I was, you know, I was seeing death, I was washing dead people after they would, you know, die. We had to prepare the bodies so the family could say goodbye to them, and that, you know, for a 16, 17-year-old, that really kind of brings it home and makes you really think about what's it all about, and is my end going to be just like this one day, sitting in some nursing home waiting to die, and what will I have done? What will I be looking back on? And what is the reason behind it all? And so
what was your religion at that time?
I was a Catholic, but not really practicing, because I had so many questions, and when I would ask questions, I was basically told that it was really a problem with me. It was, you know, I had a weakness in my faith, and that's why I had so many questions. So that if I was if I had stronger faith, if I was a better Christian, then I wouldn't have so many questions. And so, you know, that kind of shuts you up, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And
that's what they say all the time.
And so I just kind of put it on the back burner and went about life, but I was really feeling empty and feeling like there had to be more. And but I didn't know where to look, and I just finished high school and went off to university, and I was studying. I was studying mostly biologies and really not thinking too much about it.
Now, were you in the university when you were studying the biology? Okay, so how did you start to learn about Islam?
I actually had Muslims in my classes, and that, you know, that we had to work as lab partners, and
that's in
got
Minnesota.
To know Muslims, yeah.
In Minnesota,
yes.
Okay. Yeah. So tell me about it.
So I started. You know, I could see that these Muslims were very confident in their religion, and that they were right, and so I was kind of, you know, taken aback, because, you know, it's not really, you know, the American way to be, you know, bringing up religion all the time, and, you know, it's dropping subjects here and there about, you know, what you believe so much. And so I was, you know, kind of interested in what these Muslims were really believing, and how they could feel so confident when I had so many questions about my own faith. And so I started asking a lot of questions, and I was really surprised that they had answers. And everything I had questioned, if they didn't know the answer, they would go to somebody who's more knowledgeable and find it for me. And so that was really, you know, I thought, wow, you know, they're encouraging me to ask questions and not just saying,
so they were not
afraid. You just have to blindly follow and believe this and not question.
So I see that they were not really afraid that, you know, to find answers for your questions.
No, not at all. They just say, well, I don't know, but I know somebody else who's more knowledgeable than I am, so I'll go ask him. And alhamdulillah, you know, I just kept asking questions and kept getting answers, and that really, I liked that. And so then finally, one Muslim, he would give the khutbah for the Friday prayers, and he had to have an English translation of the meaning of the Quran so that he could present it to everybody. And so he would give me that on Saturday or Friday when he was finished with it, and I would keep it for the week until he needed it again for the next khutbah. And I was reading, and I could see all this science in this book that was 1,400 years old, and I was amazed. I was shocked. I was like, people didn't know this back then.
You're talking about the miracles in the Quran.
Yes, about all the scientific information about embryology, geology, meteorology, astronomy, things people didn't know back then. And I said, well, that's really interesting, but maybe that part stayed the same, and maybe other things have been changed. And they said, no. I said, this book has been preserved. It has not been altered since it was revealed, and we have ancient copies to assure that. And so then I said, khalas, this book is really, this has to be the truth. This has to be it could have only come from Allah, and this must be the truth that I've been looking for, and that will fill that void that I have.
So how did you say your shahada? What was the moment that really changed you, and what did you do at that time?
I was really afraid.
It's okay, good.
It wasn't,
trying to give
it wasn't a sudden realization. It was sort of a gradual realization, and then now knowing this, what do I do? And I was sitting on the fence for probably 6 months, saying, okay, I really think this is right, but it's going to really shake up my world.
Like fighting yourself pretty much.
Yeah, definitely.
SubhanAllah.
It's really going to shake things up, and it really means tearing down my original foundation and rebuilding. And I really felt that it was a huge decision. It wasn't something I took lightly at all. And my family was quite close, and I worried about how they would react. And alhamdulillah, they, for the most part, took it very well.
Oh, really? MashaAllah. So how was your life after Islam? Like now you said that you've been Muslim since how many years now?
18 years now.
18 years. How was your spiritually changed you from a beginner of Islam to be a practicing Muslim until you came over here and all that?
Well, I started praying immediately, the very first day, and I had some books, and I got up at Fajr prayer in the morning, and I had my book, and it took me 20 minutes to pray 2 rakahs that normally take about 5 minutes or less. And I would plod through letter by letter, and alhamdulillah, Allah made it easy. Alhamdulillah. And I tried to practice immediately because I had been thinking about it a long time, and knew that if I did it, I wanted to do it right. And so I tried my best, inshallah, and Allah, alhamdulillah.
Now tell me, what message would you give to the world? Like, let's say for non-Muslims and then to the Muslims.
To the non-Muslims, to really search for the truth and look. And I think that's the thing, that most people don't bother to go out and search and look. And that if you have questions, to find knowledgeable Muslims and go to the Islamic centers and tell them you have questions and ask those questions, and usually you will find people are very accommodating.
That's great.
And
so what about the Muslims?
Muslims, that really it's a very grave thing to have the truth and to throw it away, to ignore it, to pretend like it's not important. And this is a huge blessing that Allah has bestowed on you, and something that so many people have to struggle for and fight for, and it's not something to be taken for granted.
May Allah reward you, sister. Jazakallah khair for your time. Inshallah. Barakallahu feekum.